Hey, welcome to the Double Dropkick Show. I'm Heath Mulligan.
And I'm Mark Whitman.
And episode 195, where are we at now? I don't know.
I don't know.
This is a special episode.
You're really loud in here, man.
Okay. All right.
You're loud in any way in general.
How's that?
No, I can't hear anything at all. No.
What about now? What about now? I like it being loud. Is that better?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Note to self, you're in number 2. Okay. All right, let's start over.
You're a loud dude.
I am.
You know?
I'm loud. Hey, welcome to the Double Dropkick Show. I'm Heath Mulligan.
And I'm Mark Whitman.
And we are on the road, not to the Final Four. We're on the road to episode 200, inching along. And we got a pretty special episode today. It's going to be about the adventures of Mark Whitman.
That nobody will care about. It's got nothing to do with wrestling.
But I'm going to make them care about it.
Okay.
And then we are going to talk about, I think for me, it's right up there with Black Saturday as far as one of the dark days in wrestling history. We're going to get to that a little bit later in the show. It is just to tease a little bit. It is a situation. It is something that I knew was coming. All right. I think something that we've shared about on the show. We knew it was coming, and it finally happened.
It happened last week, yeah.
And so we're going to talk about that. But first, Mark, I was perusing Facebook, and I see this picture that it brought such it brought such joy to my heart. And it was a picture of you and your lovely wife, Crystal, and your nephew, Ethan, who's been a guest on the Double Dropkick Show.
That's right. Double Dropkick Show alumni.
Yes. And you're about to go rafting. And
we were done rafting.
You were done rafting. That's why you were smiling.
Right. It was over.
You survived.
Yeah.
And just the look on your face like that, that's the happiest I've ever seen you.
Are you serious? That's not the happiest you've ever seen.
Oh, it's not the happiest. It's pretty close. Tell us about your rafting adventure. Where'd you go? Would you recommend it?
Oh, yeah, man. We went. I wish I could remember the kid's name who was our guide. His name was Jonathan. It was like Adventure Rafting or something like that. I'll give you the name.
Yeah.
I'll give him a plug because, like, he was so good, man. Like, the coolest part, honestly, was when we first got there. Like, we went down the Nantahala River.
Okay, awesome.
Where a lot of people go. So we drove up to western North Carolina and, went to the place. And so when we get there, like, this dude, he comes walking out and he's like, 6'3" or 4", and he's kind of stocky,
Right.
He's a big dude, but like long hair and this huge beard. And he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be your guide today," and he's got like everybody else is toting their rafts and getting in, and he's just got the raft like up over his head, walking by himself, and he's like, "If you can get my paddle, I'll be out."
Right.
Like you're already like, "Oh, well, I'm usually the big strong guy in this group," But he goes, "Hey, like everybody else is loading in the water. You guys want to do something cool?" And we were like, "Hey, I'm always down to do something cool."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doing cool stuff is like what I based my life around. So he asked Ethan, he's like, "How old are you?" He said, "Oh, I'm 16. He said, "You want to go swimming before we go rafting?" And we were like, So he said, "Look, there's this place. They had this bridge. Like you had to go.
Yeah.
You had to go around this barricade and this barrier. You've seen people do this?
I've been. I know where you're talking about. I believe
where you get in Nantahala. So
Yeah.
you go around this barricade, and anyway, there's a new section of bridge, and they had taken the old section out.
Ah.
So when they took the old section out, the part that kind of the bridge lays across to brace it up before it crosses is still there, and it's flat, it's wide, and it's like 10 or 12 feet in the air off of the bank.
Uh-huh.
And they took the column out of the river
Right.
when they put the new section of the bridge in. So this section where they took the column out is like 7 or 8 feet deep, like straight down. So he's asking Ethan, like, or will you jump off of it? Are you man enough to jump off of this thing?
Oh,
basically?
my.
And you have to know Ethan, like you can tell, because I know him. I'm looking at him, and I'm like, he is nervous, man. Like he's really scared about doing this.
Yeah.
my dad's like, you think he'll do it? And I said, oh, he's going to do it.
Oh, your dad went with you?
Yeah, my dad.
Phenomenal.
Me and my dad and my wife and my nephew went whitewater rafting, yeah. So I'll get to the part about me and Dad later. So he's like, what do you think? I said, oh, he's going to do it. Like, he's not going to walk up there and chicken out. I just know him. He if he was going to chicken out, he just wouldn't have went up there.
Yeah, yeah.
He's going to do it. So you see him kind of turn around and walk off, and my pop puts his phone down. He's like, nah, he's not going to. You know, I don't think they're going to jump. I think that he's just messing around. Like, we kind of still thought he's just messing around.
Yeah.
And I said, no, they're going back. So he puts the phone up and starts recording, and he just barely, almost misses it. He kind of misses the jump from the top, but all of a sudden you just see Ethan come flying off of this thing. Ah! You know, and he hits the water, and then the guide comes off behind him. And as he floats by, he goes, he was supposed to say something to us. Uh-huh. And if he can say it, you got to do what he says. Yeah. That was the thing. So he goes, guys, that was awesome. You should join me. So we're in a line. My pop is right up on shore, and I'm right behind him, and my wife's right behind me. So he just kind of, my dad looks at me, and he goes, well, and he stumbles over, and he falls over in the water. Oh. And then I jump in the water, and then my wife just, so now we're all, and everybody else is loading in their boats. So, like, they just see us floating down the river. And what he told us, that section is covered in trees. Yeah. And it's deep water. And it doesn't move quite as fast through there, and the water is, like, rarely gets above 40 degrees. Yeah. In that little section, because it took my breath away when I hit the water, because it was like 4 or 5 feet deep where I jumped in. Yeah. So I just sort of stumbled and fell over into the water. You know, it's kind of, you don't want to dive head first into a river. No. You know? No. So then he was like, I seen you just stumble in the water. You scared to dive in? And I was like, look, I ain't scared of nothing, man. So then we get in the raft, and I make the mistake of, I tuck my foot, you know, in the thing, and I take my left leg, and I kind of tuck it underneath me. And we're going along, and all of a sudden, I'm like, my foot's kind of tingling a little bit, you know. I just figure it's the cold water. We're trucking along, and the next thing you know, I can't move my leg. It is falling asleep, almost up to the knee. And I finally, I'm like, you know, they can see me fidgeting with it. I'm like, all right, I'm trying not to say anything. And he finally goes, are you okay? And I said, dude, I can't move my leg. I sat on it, and if it's falling asleep. And he goes, well, we got to get through this section of rapids. And as soon as we do, like, I'll stop, and you can do whatever you got to do. I said, cool. So we got through this little section that we were fixing to hit. And he was like, man, get out of the boat and do whatever you need to do. I was like, dude, honestly, if I can stand up for 30 seconds, the blood will get flowing again, and I'll be fine. And I did, and I just stood up in the boat. Right. And I was like, all right, I'm cool. And it never happened again. Right. But it was kind of embarrassing that happened. You don't want to be that guy that something like that, something stupid and silly happened. So anyway, my pop, who is like, you know, 67 years old, but plays with his cell phone like he's 15. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. He's like got his phone out. He took it with him because he's got the waterproof case. Oh yeah. So there's the video. I don't know if you saw the video of this or not. So he's just recording this nice little section of, and we're sitting across from one another, and he's just recording this nice, and we hit this huge. And you can see it on the video. You'll see the boat, the front end of the boat just drop down. Well, when it did, his feet come up off the thing, and I thought he was going to fall. He wasn't. He had saw it and had kind of compensated for it with his own body weight, but I didn't realize that. And he had a tank top on. So I reached over to grab him by the life vest on the, just, you know, where it cuts into the arm. But instead of grabbing him by the life vest, my hand went inside and I pulled him back on the boat by his nipple. So you're watching this video of him like calmly, and it sucks you can't see it because all you can do is hear it. It's calm, and you see the boat, and then all of a sudden you hear him go, good God almighty, boy, what's wrong with you? So we've watched that video like 50 times, and it's.
Can I put that video in the show notes?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'll send you a link to it.
Oh, that's funny, man.
Yeah, that's fine.
So if you've never rafted the Nantahala, okay, and is that the first time you rafted the Nantahala?
Oh, I've been down Nantahala 10 or 15 times.
So about maybe 20.
Remember, I was a Boy Scout.
That's right.
Everybody else was doing, whatever.
Dating.
Yeah, youth group stuff.
All right. That was your youth group.
Right, I was in the Boy Scout.
So back in the day, the Nantahala, the last rapid, was a lot worse than it is now. Because it kind of had a hole in it, and then it was dangerous. I remember the first time I went down, somebody actually fell out. We hit that rapid, and a lady popped out of our boat, and because we didn't have a guide, we were just it was just us.
I've fallen out on that rapid.
And then now they've filled it in, and so you just kind of pop off of it. Right? Is it still the same way? Because it's been like 10 or 15 years since I've been.
Yeah, I fell out last time. I fell out twice. Actually, I fell out once, and I went in after my wife another time. My wife went in the water, and I jumped down after.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of guy I am.
Right.
Ladies.
Right.
My wife fell in the water in a raging river.
Yeah.
I dove in to save her.
Yeah.
And I had her by the back of the thing. Actually, if you could see the clips of us, like if there was video, you would see me grabbing my nephew, my wife, and my dad all day long yesterday.
Really?
Everything else is going on. And part of it is it also helps you.
Yeah.
Like if you grab them, now you can't you're anchored as well, and you're pulling them towards you if you start going out. And
Can you you said you don't remember the name of the company?
It's like Fast Water Adventures or something. It's the number one on TripAdvisor, I can tell you that.
Oh, wow. Well, here's my thing, though. All right, this is the only issue that I have with them. Do they not have life jackets that are not child size?
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. Yeah, well.
But here's the thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The life jacket you had on, though, if I were wearing it, it would be below my knees.
Right.
It would be way too big for me.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm with you so much that I think I forget how big you are to the rest of the world. And when I saw that picture, I'm like, that is probably the biggest life jacket they had.
No, they're all the same size. They're universal life jackets. The difference between that picture that you have to remember, if you actually look at that picture, everybody else's life jacket's unbuckled.
Right.
Mine is still buckled. Everybody's life jacket fits across their chest until you unbuckle it and loosen the straps, and then it falls down. They just happened to snap a picture right after we come off the water, and I still had mine buckled.
But what I'm saying, and that made the picture so much better for me.
Friend of mine
but when I buckle my life jacket, it comes down below my waist.
Right. A friend of mine. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. My buddy texted me last night and said, "Why are you wearing a fanny pack around your neck?"
All right, well, that's better. That's better than anything I had. That's why I asked if you're an excellent swimmer. Because, you listen, that life jacket's wearing you as a flotation device.
That's true. Yeah, I was kind of concerned about that, too. I was like, is this life jacket? But I also had it, like, after I put the life vest on, because it was loose, I could have worn it around my waist. Like, honestly, there was enough room. But, like, I know you don't think so. I was actually there wearing it. There's a thing that comes across your shoulders that I cinched up to pull it up that high. Oh, see?
And don't you dare think that just because I wasn't somewhere that I can't have a terrible opinion that's not based in any fact or logic.
Right.
Okay? Don't forget who you're doing a show with. But a great time, and shout out to those people, and glad to have you back in one piece.
Hey, it was so much fun, man. Like, it was one of those things, like, because I hadn't done it in so long, and I had fallen out a couple of times last time I went. I was kind of nervous about it, man. But, like, as I hit when we hit that last rapid, you know, I mean, it was like, you know, everybody was hollering and laughing and having fun. It was good, man. It was fun to get out with my father and do something like that, and my nephew to kind of have, and my wife being there. Because even she, when we jumped in the water, she was like, I didn't want to jump in that water. But I was like, well, I'm with these guys. I guess I got to.
Yeah.
You know?
They tell you, when you're the first time you go or every time you go, they tell you if you fall in, get your feet pointed down the river.
Right.
And the couple of times I pointed in, that is so true that once you get your feet in front of you and you realize, okay, the life jacket's keeping my head above water.
Right.
And you can navigate there. You get this sense of calm that, all right, I'm going to be all right. As long as it's not a waterfall.
When you hit that cold water,
oh, yeah.
I mean, you can't breathe for a second.
And that's why your guide, he's the best, because he knows if I can get them used to the water, they're not going to panic as much.
Well, he told us that
on the river.
He said, hey, that's the coldest water you'll be in all day.
Yeah.
So if you go in, it's not going to be that cold.
Yeah.
So you should be ready for it.
They should make shirts. They should sell shirts that say, I was in the pool. I was in the pool.
That's a good idea.
So
you ain't lying, boy. Woo,
woo, doggy.
That water is a winning shrinker.
So let's move on. I've tried to, kind of put this off as long as we could. Mark, you mentioned something that happened last week, something we knew was coming in the world of wrestling. And I'm here to officially announce it. I can't believe I'm about to say these words. Mark canceled the WWE Network.
I did. If you'd have told me when I was 12 years old, one day there's going to be this channel that you're going to be able to go and you could just watch wrestling all day. Like, there'll be so much wrestling on that channel.
Yeah.
That you could start watching it now and you'd probably never finish it.
Yeah.
With the way they add content, it's got old episodes of that 605 show. It's got all the you can watch every pay-per-view live.
Yeah.
That WWE does. You can watch every old pay-per-view. You can watch all these old TV shows. I would have been signed up.
Yeah.
And I would never have canceled that. But I just don't like what WWE's doing right now. And you can send all the tweets that you want. Mm-hmm. And you can use all the hashtags that you want. But the only way for them to make a change is for me to impact them in the pocketbook.
Right.
And I know my $10 ain't going to make or break that company.
Right.
But it's my $10.
Yeah.
And I can spend it elsewhere with somebody that I feel like appreciates and wants my business because I don't feel like they do.
Yeah.
And they ask why. When you cancel, why are you canceling? And
Yeah.
I've simply said, because I'm not satisfied with the product that you're currently putting out there.
Do you remember what the option? Normally, it's like a little survey. Do you remember what the options were?
It was like the price points.
Right.
I don't. I remember those two.
Yeah.
Was it the price or was it the current issues or whatever? I don't remember all of them because I didn't care. Like, I was done. When I'm done with something, I'm done with it, Cat.
Yes, this is a very true statement. Very true statement.
I don't, and I canceled High Spots Network as well.
Gotcha.
I've had it for a while.
Well, that's going to impact my life a little bit there. So that's $20. High Spots, is it still $9.99 a month?
Yeah.
$20 a month that you were putting into wrestling, $240 a year. That now
will go to pay for something else.
Yeah.
And you know what it'll be going to pay for. Right. And I also canceled Sling TV.
Really?
Uh-huh. Because I had signed up for it to watch Raw on USA.
Yeah.
And I watch the only thing I watch on TV is The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I watch old reruns of King of the Hill.
Yeah.
And Sports Center.
Yeah.
And I can live without Sports Center and King of the Hill. Most of them episodes are on YouTube.
And you, now you still got your MLB pass.
Yeah, but that's a one-time payment.
Right.
That's not a.
You pay it for the season.
Right. You pay $100 at the beginning of the season, and that's it. Like, it's not a recurring fee.
Does that include the playoffs in the World Series?
No, and that is the problem. That's why I'll be canceling it next year. Because it's like you watch all these games,
right.
but you don't get to watch the important games.
Yeah. But if you've got an antenna, you should be able to get.
You should be.
Is the World Series on network television?
Yeah, I think it's on Fox.
Fox. There you go. We were gonna get Sling TV. We were looking at, because we just got our internet finally working, and we were looking Sling TV or keeping Dish. And by the time I got Sling TV, I got 6 people living in my house, and added the 6 people living in my house, it was going to be about the same.
Right. It winds up being that. Like, we canceled Dish or Direct. I think we had Direct TV. We canceled all that because it was too much, and then I looked and realized I was paying like $90 a month in subscription services, and I'm like, well, why don't
Yeah. Yeah, that's the same way we are.
That's not doing anything for me, man. That's not helping me financially.
Now, I think we just canceled. We didn't cancel Netflix. I may have canceled Hulu.
I'm going to cancel Hulu, I think. But
yeah,
my wife likes Hulu. Even if we just got Netflix and Hulu, it's $20 a month.
Right.
And I can live with that.
Yeah.
But I couldn't live with paying WWE $10 a month for something that I watched one match in the past 6 months, and that was Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I canceled it, and I can still watch the main event of SummerSlam this year because of my payment, the way it's arranged. I'd already made the payment for a month.
Gotcha.
So I'll probably still watch SummerSlam if it's available.
So what would it take if Vince is listening? And as a stockholder, I'm taking furious notes here. What would it take?
When I'm done with something, I'm done with it.
So there's no getting you back?
Maybe. I mean, it'll take...
like if they add the Memphis library, the Portland library, the wrestling, the old wrestling that you haven't seen.
You understand that most of the stuff that they would be adding is on YouTube, though.
That's true.
I mean, really, it's just.
Or you can find DVD.
Or I can find it on DVD, but the quality is not. Maybe it won't be quite as good. But,
right.
I'm not saying that I'll never be a subscriber again.
That is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, I guess I did say that, but the truth is that was kind of me tongue-in-cheeking. But I don't know what it'll take if they do it. It'll take. Here's what the issue with that company, and it's been this way since Steve Austin left. Is and I know people will say John Cena, and that's fine. You got to have like a big star that you center everything in that company around. And the way they conduct business right now is they would rather have 15 guys who are just kind of over.
Right.
But aren't mega stars.
Yeah.
But they'll tell you there's a pecking order among them. But they're all interchangeable. Yes. You can take Dean Ambrose out, and you can plug The Miz in. You can take Dolph Ziggler out. You can plug Seth Rollins in. You can take Seth Rollins out, plug Roman Reigns into that slot. And then you can take Braun Strowman out. You can plug Kevin Owens into that spot. You can take Kevin Owens out and plug Bray Wyatt into that spot. And then you can take Bray Wyatt out and plug Randy Orton into that spot. Because it's not about coming out and paying to see the big star anymore. It's about just paying to see the WWE where everybody's a glorified mid-card guy.
Yeah.
And there's no true, even though they may have, and here's how I know that the main event is not important anymore. Outside of SummerSlam's main event this year, like who's typically, are the main events not interchangeable with one another? You a lot of times watch a pay-per-view and don't know what the main event, you don't know what the last match going on is. Remember at WrestleMania, they didn't tell you that Roman Reigns and Undertaker were going on last.
They try to make it, there's 4 main events.
Right.
Yeah.
But but back in the day, I knew because Savage and Hogan were facing off on the poster.
Right.
And I know that's going to be the main event. So whatever else happens on that card is great, but I'm buying it to see this match, and they don't do that anymore.
So now you don't get for the most part, you don't get a poster. The poster may just have one person on it. Now They're not making a poster. They're making these social media images, and they're making an image, a poster for every single match. And that's not just WWE. That's across the board.
But even then, Heath, they do put a main poster out for SummerSlam. But all it'll be is 15 guys and 6 girls in bathing suits sitting on the beach with a cooler and a grill, and they acting like they're having a party out on the beach.
Yeah. Would you go to that party?
Oh, yeah. Go to that party. Some of those girls are going to be there in bikinis. I'll be there.
Yes. I even talking about, we're recording this on Thursday, August 17th. August 18th, I'm going to Battle Zone Wrestling in Simpsonville, South Carolina. Same thing. Battle Zone has great graphics. 3 Count Design does their graphics. And they don't do it's the social media images, and I've seen the images for their matches, but I don't know what the main event is. And I decided to go before I even knew what the matches were because it's less than an hour from my house. Anthony Giannazzo, he's moving to California. It's his last match in the upstate. And I'm going to try, I've got a chance to redeem myself and throw him a donut.
Throw him a donut. Do something. And I wish I could go, man. I have to work this week.
And I've just decided, I don't watch Raw and SmackDown. I'm just trying to find wrestling within an hour of my house every single week that I can go to.
Right.
And spend $5-10 and enjoy myself. And I don't think I even told you this. We went to Friday night, August 11th. We went to APW, Alternative Pro Wrestling in Royston, Georgia. We talked about that in our patrons group, which you can find out about at patreon.com/doubledropkick. And while I'm on that, shout out to Jordan Payne, our newest patron. Saw Jordan yesterday, gave him his signed DDP picture for being $10. And he's handing out some posters for the upcoming 3 Count show. So he said, hey, man, I'd love to. So it was a cool deal. So that was Friday night. Saturday, I'm like, there's a SWA show in Easton Ollie, Georgia. So I went to that. And I got there, and typically I'm just going to be really, really loud. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy the show. And I sat on the front row, and these 2 girls, probably 7, 8, 9 years old, they come in, and they're like, hey, is anybody sitting here? Nope, you guys are fine. And let me just tell you, I had a blast. Like, the first wrestler comes out, and they're, like, jumping, and she, like, bumps into me. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so scared. I'm so nervous. I don't know what to do. I'm like, totally cool. Totally cool. Have y'all been to wrestling before? Like, well, we've been here. And it was just to experience through the eyes of these girls. It was great, man, because when the heels came over, they were like, one girl, she got up and, like, got behind us. And it was just really cool. And one kid came out. He looked like Justin Bieber. That's what they said. And he was the bad guy, but he was cute. And they were the only 2 people in the building cheering for him. And it was because he was cute. Like, why are y'all cheering? And I just went back and forth with him. But it just reminded me that, if done correctly, wrestling, if you can hook a kid, you hook them for life sometimes, and it was good. As
Raven said one time, when pro wrestling's done right, there's nothing better. But when it's not done right, there's not much worse. Yeah, no, that's a very true statement. It pretty much could be applied to anything. Hey, it could. It really could. When you make tacos right, they're great. When you don't, it's just a mess.
Yeah.
By the way, I had Appalachian fish tacos yesterday at some little roadside thing up in the mountains. They took it was trout. They used trout for the fish instead of other, and then they used just coleslaw and then this white, pepper, whatever kind of cheese, I don't know.
Yeah.
And some salsa. Man, it was delicious. It was so simple. It was so good.
Appalachian fish tacos.
Yeah, after you've been on the river, as you know, I'm a big outdoor enthusiast. And after you've kind of, as I told you, I consider myself to be one of the great swimmers of our time. I mean, I'm not saying that I could beat the shark that beat Michael Phelps, but I could beat that shark that beat Michael Phelps.
you're not going to hear an argument from me. And I think, as everybody could see in the picture, from the tan on your legs, you spend a lot of time outdoors.
Oh God! I was looking at that. I was like, dang, my legs are that white.
Genetics.
It is. Like, my family really is. Except my dad, he tans up all right, but even he'll burn. But my mom is just lily white, and so are me and my sister.
That's all right. It's all right. You're still a great outdoorsman.
I did used to spend a lot of time outdoors, but not as much now. Yeah. I'm one of the great indoorsmen of our time now.
Now that you're not going to get an argument from me. We were talking about just circling back to the whole WWE Network. You're kind of no-selling it that you did it, but like there will be some of you, and you're like, I showed them, and you think Vince McMahon is going to get a notification that right. John Smith from El Paso, Texas, canceled the WWE Network, and that Vince is going to cry over that. And then you're going to go and you're going to compare, man, I did the right thing. I showed them. I canceled the WWE Network. I fought the power. And right. You're going to compare yourself with a war hero.
Right. And I'm none of those things.
No.
But I didn't talk about it.
Right.
I just did it.
Yeah. Well, to be you have it's been hinted. We knew. From the beginning. If you go back to one of our early episodes, because we launched this podcast maybe a month.
Right. It wasn't much before the network.
Before the network, and I remember we did an episode on what are our hopes and dreams for the network, and the fact is, they crushed your hopes and dreams.
No, they really didn't crush my hopes and dreams, I don't think.
I go back and I listen to a 39-year-old Mark Whitman, and I think they did. I think they crushed your
Maybe
hopes and
so.
dreams.
Maybe I had I guess I did have high hopes for it. And they lived up to those hopes in a lot of ways as far as providing the old content. I was not dissatisfied with that.
Yeah.
I just wasn't watching it.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I've probably in, like I said, 3 months I hadn't watched anything. I haven't wanted to. I've been focusing on other areas of my life.
Yeah.
And bettering myself.
Right.
And I know I'm fat, but I ain't as fat as I used to be.
Yeah.
I don't smoke.
Haven't coughed once since we've been here.
Haven't coughed once since we've been here.
You and I both drinking water this morning.
Right. Financially trying to get myself into better situation. I've just been focusing on other things in life. As you know, I have worked all summer long.
Yeah.
12 hours a day, almost all summer long.
Yeah.
We didn't record because of it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to struggle financially and whatnot. I want to pay all my bills off, so I figured I'd go out and get another big.
So anyway, Mark is canceled. The two big news articles today: Mark survived drafting, and he has canceled the WWE Network. We would love your feedback. Have you already canceled the WWE Network? Is it something that's on your radar? Will Mark's decision, will there be, and I know there will be, there are a lot of wrestling fans who followed the example of Mark Whitman who, and there's a lot of people who are going to hear that. I'm like, man, if Mark Whitman canceled the network, and I'll guarantee you this, I'm only stating this as what I believe to be a fact. And I think it speaks to what we want this podcast to be about, is you're the only person with a wrestling podcast who's canceled the WWE Network.
That's probably true.
And I think that just shows what we're not going to be going forward.
Right.
We're not going to be what everybody else is being. We got a day recording, and I'm excited. Like Mark says, he's made some changes in his life. I've made some changes in my life. I feel like my brain is working for the first time in 10 years. And I'm having these ideas, and Mark heard some of these ideas when he snuck in this morning and heard me testing microphones.
I did. Heath didn't know I was here. And here's all I heard. Oh, yeah, that's the way you do it if you want to get it. He actually said, oh, yeah, before he started. Oh, yeah, that's the way you do it if you want to get it.
Everything he's saying is true. And there is a reason There is a reason that when someone checks a microphone, it's a simple check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you're trying to hear how things are coming through the earphones and you're testing all the microphones and on the camera, let's just leave it at check 1, Sipowitz. Let's leave it at that. You don't need to go off on a tangent like I did.
Start talking to yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's the way you do it if you want to get it.
Oh, yeah. That's it right there. Ooh, 7. Hey, what are you doing about the WWE Network? Mark told you what he did. I'm not going to cancel yet. I still watch the pay-per-views, and for my money, that's worth, that's where I'm at right now. $9 a month. Would love to hear from you. You can talk to us about it on Twitter. I'm at Heath Mullican.
I'm at the DDK Show. And, hey, just for the record, if you want to save a little money on the WWE Network, cancel it. Because they will offer to give it to you cheaper.
Whoa!
Not forever, but, they'll offer it to you at a lower rate for a couple of months, I think. It seems like I remember that being hey, if it's price, how about you stay and we'll give you 3 months free or something like that. It was one of those kind of things.
I think maybe this is the experiment I need to do of trying to beat the system. Go to cancel. Hey, we'll give you 3 months free. Okay, I sign up for 3 months free. And then I pay for a month or two. And I'm I just don't like it. Well, hey, we'll give you 3 months free. Or, hey, we're $8.99. I don't know. Hey, speaking of this.
I'm pretty confident that it was 3 months, but don't hold me to that.
We were talking about subscription services. One thing we've talked about on this show before is movies. Have you heard about this thing, Movie Pass?
No.
Movie Pass, it's been around for a couple of years. One of the former Netflix founders came on board with them, okay? And so they've lowered their price. When they announced that their price was lowered this week, their website crashed. I know this because I was trying to get on their website. It was gone. Movie Pass, and I have checked. The Seneca Theater's on this. You pay $9.99 a month. You can see a movie every single day.
You actually go to the movies, though.
You pay $9. If I pay $9, I can go to see a movie Monday. I can go to see a movie Tuesday. I don't know. It says no blackouts, which means if I want to go see Star Wars every day for a month for $9.99, I can do that.
Wow, a person?
Yeah. So if you and Crystal, okay, you and Crystal pay $20 a month. You go see one movie, you've saved money.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You go see. You see 2 movies a month, and I would do that. Yeah, I may do that.
So here's there's where your $9.99's going right there. Here's the catch. Okay, a couple things. AMC Theaters used to be one of their big partners in this. AMC says, whoa, you can't lower the price.
Right.
AMC's trying to get out of it. The other thing is, how is Movie Pass going to make money? Okay, because every time you go to the movies, you scan your Movie Pass app, they pay for the ticket.
Right.
Movie Pass is paying for a ticket. How they sell their money is, they're selling your information, and they're pretty open about it.
Okay. Yeah, never mind that.
But they're selling your information to the movie theaters. Here's the thing about the information. Sorry, my phone is buzzing here. Here's the thing. A man called me yesterday. I'm not making any judgment, but by his accent, he is either he's not from America.
Right.
All right. He told me his name was Mark Williams. Mark Williams or Mark Wilson. Mark Williams. He's called me before.
Uh-huh.
Okay. This time he was calling me about a government grant that the government wants to give me money. All right.
Uh-huh.
This man had my cell phone number.
Mm-hmm.
He had my name, and he had my address.
Yeah, that's pretty much readily available everywhere.
So my thing,
right? You can. I think they put that in the phone book. So send it out.
Get out of town.
They lay them in people's driveways.
The front door.
They lay them in the driveway all over the country.
But so I say that to mean movie pass. The information they're going to be selling is what movies you're seeing.
Right.
And if you sign up through Facebook, obviously they're gonna. And so
here's the
if you're on Facebook, they know everything.
Right, and here's the key to avoiding that.
Okay.
Here's what I do.
Okay.
So I don't have to deal with telemarketers or any of that.
Yeah.
All right. I don't answer when they call.
Yeah.
And I leave my voicemail box full.
Brilliant. All right. See,
because if somebody important to me calls, I've got their number, and it'll tell me that it's calling them. And if I see where Heath calls me 4 times in 13 minutes, I know that it's important.
Yeah.
So I call Heath back.
Right. Right. See, I can't leave my voicemail box full because of the kids and school stuff like that. But see, I'm to the point where if I see and it showed up unknown, I know who it is. I just want to talk to him. Like I was driving, I was like, I just want to mess with this guy. I said, hey man, I got a good friend named Mark Williams. Man, what do you? It's like, is this what you do for a living? And then I said, they just called me about this other day. They said I got grant money coming. They said, did they give you your callback number? I'm like, yeah, but I'm driving right now. I don't have it. Well, did they give you your grant number? I'm like, I'm driving. I don't have it. Well, I'm going to give you a new number. Well, why? They told me they were going to give me $50,000. How much you going to offer? Because I may cancel. I mean, that's what I do. And I'm like, I just try to have fun with them.
That's crazy. I have no desire to talk to any of those people.
Those people. Here's what
people that try to sell me things over the telephone. Yes,
they're trying to give me free money from the government, Mark.
Sure they are. Sure they are. That's what the government's known for: randomly calling people and offering them $50,000.
Well, everything but the randomly calling.
Yeah.
So anyway, you got our Twitter. DoubleDropkick.com is where you can go back and listen to all our episodes. You can go back and listen to one of our earliest episodes about the WWE Network.
4 or 5, maybe.
Yeah,
it was real.
It was right leading up to WrestleMania 30, I believe, there in New Orleans, and we talked about that and what we would like to see on the network. And I would love to go back and listen to that and just see how far off we were. I think they've put a lot more original, like sitcom. That kind of stuff on there. I like the Table for Three and that kind of stuff.
Well, I remember talking about how I thought they should do that kind of thing.
Right.
So they must have been listening. So maybe they listen to this and they'll straighten it out.
So whoever's listening in Stamford, Connecticut, okay?
There's a guy with a wrestling podcast who loves wrestling, obsesses about wrestling, and canceled your network because you currently suck so bad.
Yeah. He is a man who has spent well above what the average wrestling fan spends on wrestling. Mm-hmm. A man who has been in the ring and loved wrestling enough to start a wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
And has said to you, good day, sir.
You suck.
We don't suck. DoubleDropkick.com. Thanks for listening. Yeah, there's all sorts of links in the show notes. You can support the show. You can get you a nice pair of headphones like that. The link's in the show notes.
I know it, man.
Listen, you can use these for anything. You use them in the shower. You use them to yell at your kids. They've got multiple uses.
You can talk sexily to yourself in them.
Listen, let me just put this out there. All right? You buy these headphones. This is what you buy these headphones. Just one. You buy one set of these headphones. I will, and email me with the receipt, the Amazon receipt. I will call you, and if your voicemail is not full, I will leave you the recording of what Mark says I said. And I'll say, there you go. With these headphones.
There you go.
Listen, it'll be a great thing. You can go to all your friends like, hey, man, this is that guy from the Double Dropkick Show. Well, what's he say? Oh, yeah, there you go. You can get it. Get it, Dave. Get it, boy. Get it. Get it again. Get it again.
Boy.
Get it again. Get it again. I'll say whatever you want me to say, within reason. Within reason. So hey,
we're going to take the Bruce Pritchard route. If you start buying stuff, we'll start calling you and thanking you for it.
No, just that one thing.
Just that one thing? Okay.
And let me tell you, these headphones are a heck of a lot more expensive than a T-shirt. T-shirt's coming soon, by the way. All right, hey, thanks for listening to the Double Dropkick Show. As always, I'm Heath Mullican.
I'm Mark Whitman.